So in the last video we have discussed about the homogeneous transformation, right? And we have learned this A, T, B, okay? So superscript A, subscript B here, and what we have said, this will give us a what? Position and orientation of frame B relative to frame A, okay? To frame A. So here we are just dealing with frame A and B, okay? But in reality, we are going to have multiple frames, right? So you can see transformation between robot coordinate frames. So robotic arm is not going to go from one frame to another frame. No, there will be a change of coordinate frames, we can say, right? So let's say for example, we have a robotic arm in the frame A, then we are going to a frame B, then we are going to a frame C, and then we are going to a frame D here, okay, like that, okay. So here how we can represent this one? So we can represent this particular transformation like this, A, T, B, okay. So you can see this describes the transformation of frame B to frame A here. Same thing here. I can go from frame B to frame C. I can transform from frame B to frame C like this. So we can denote like this also, B, then we have T, then we have C. So this will give us the transformation from frame C to frame B. Same thing here, from frame C to frame D, we are going by this transformation, and we can represent like this, C, T, D. Okay, so again this will give us the transformation from frame D to frame C here, like that. Okay, so you can see we have this series of transformation. Now how we can represent the final transformation? We have started this particular from frame A, and we have reached the frame B here. Okay, so if I directly write it down like this, frame A to frame D here, how we can represent like that? A in the superscript, T, and then we have a D like this. But we have gone through this series of transformation like this. Okay, so what's the relation between this and this? So we have something called chaining of transformation. Okay, chaining transformation, we can say chaining transformation. So this is my initial frame, and this is my final frame D. So we can represent like this, right? A, T, D. But in between we have series of transformation. Now this will be equals to a what? First we have transformed from A to B. So that will be a T, B multiplied by B, T, C multiplied by C, T, D. This is very important point to remember. Okay, so this is something called chain rule in the transformation. So if I have the fixed frame or initial frame, if I have the final frame here, okay, and in between we have series of transformation, then we can follow this particular thing here. Okay, so A transformation D is equivalent to a what? All series transformation, multiplication of series transformation, we can say. Okay, make sure you write down in the same order, okay, because you can see this multiplication does not allow the commutative property here. So A into B is not equals to B into C, right, in matrix, because all these are basically matrix only. Okay, so you can see these are basically effective chaining transformation here. And here we have just discussed about the 4 frames. Let's say for example we have n frames or n number of links are there. In that case what we can do? Okay, so when I say frame or when I say link here, so let's say for example here we have a base frame, that is basically a 0, then we have a link 1, then we have the link 2, then we have the link 3 here. Okay, so all these are basically what? Links, or we can say this is basically my 0 is a base frame and 3 is basically a end effector frame. Okay, so I am talking about this frame here. So when I say multiple frame means what? So one frame is basically our base frame here. Last frame is basically our end effector frame. This link 1 frame. Okay, so link 1 frame, we can say. Same thing for 2 is basically a what? Link 2 frame. Okay, and we have series of transformation like this. So from 0 to 1, so this will be a what? 0t1, 1 to 2 will be a what? 1t2, then 2 to 3 will be a what? 2t3, and then the complete transformation with respect to the base frame and the end effector will be what? 0, 3 here, and this will be equivalent to what? 0 T1 1 T2 into 2 T3. Okay, I hope this example is clear now. Okay, so this is what a chaining of transformation is, chaining transformation we can say, and this is very important, and this is the main idea behind the forward kinematics. Okay, this is the main idea behind the forward kinematics here. Main idea, let me write it down, main idea behind forward kinematics here. Okay, so try to note this down. Okay, if we have this particular transformation between series of coordinate frame, then we can apply the chaining transformation here. Okay, and same thing if we have n number of links, so here we are dealing with 4 links only, 0 1 2 3. Similarly, if we have n number of links, so for n number of links, how we can write it down? So 0 Tn equals to what? 0 T1 into 1 T2 till so on n minus 1 Tn here. Okay, so for n number of links, the chaining transformation will be like this. Okay, I hope you understand what we have discussed in this particular frame. Sorry, I hope you understand what we have discussed in this particular slide. Okay, so kindly note it down, very important concept. Okay, great. Now let's try to solve one question based on this particular concept we can say. Okay, robot has 2 successive transformation. So here we have T1, here we have T2. So first we have done this particular transformation, then T2. The initial point is basically a P here. What is the final position of the point here? Okay, so we have done the 2 successive transformation. So we know that the chaining rule here, right? So T will be equivalent to what? T1 and then T2 like this, and here we get the final transformation matrix here, and then we can apply that particular formula. So P dash will be a what? T into P, and this T will be a what? T1 into T2 here. That's it. Okay, so what you have to do, you just need to do a calculation here. So we have to find out the value of T1 into T2. So just my matrix multiplication here, then you are going to get a matrix T, and then we have to apply this particular thing here. Okay, so this will be a homework thing for you. So just apply this particular 2 things and tell me the final answer for this particular question here. Okay, so what is the final position of this particular point? First find out the T, then use that particular T in this particular case, right? So we have the P, we have the T, we just need to do a matrix multiplication to get the value of P dash here. That's it. Simple concept here, so you can do the calculations. Now next question number 2 here. Okay, so let's say for example question number 1, it's a homework question for you. You can try it out. Question number 2, this is also homework question for you. Okay, so we have this homogeneous transformation T, and we have to find out the T inverse. Okay, so we know that T equals to what? R, then we have the translation vector position here, P or T we can say, then we have 0, then we have 1. T inverse will be what? R inverse, then minus of R inverse into P, 0 and 1 like this. Okay, so let me confirm, same thing we have discussed in the previous slide. You can see here minus R inverse P, then 0 and 1. That's it. So nothing much in this particular question. So you have to find out the R inverse, then multiply by P. So you are going to get this particular T inverse. And what is R here? So this will be my R. So this will be my R. This will be my P here, right? So we got the value of R. 0 minus 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 1. We have to find out the R inverse, but we know that for rotation matrix R inverse is basically a R transpose. That's it. So R transpose will be a what? 0 minus 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 1. That's it. We got the R inverse. Now we have the point P. This is 2 3 4, right? So multiply that, and then we are going to get a T inverse here. So again, just a calculation. Again, it is a homework question for you, and you have to do the calculation. Remember, the concept is basically the same. You have to practice of doing this matrix multiplication, because in the GATE exam there is a time limit, right? So you should be able to solve all this question in less than 3 minutes. Okay, So all this matrix multiplication you should be able to do, okay, in the less time. So for that you require practice here. So that's what I am saying. I have just discussed the concept, what you need to apply, but you have to do the calculation here. Okay. So again, this is the homework task for you. Just comment below what is the value of this T inverse here. You can write it down on the paper, you can take out the photo and you can just share it in the comment section. Okay. So question number 3, again a homework question. Question number 3 now here. A point in 3D space is given by this P. So we have this particular point like this. So we can write it down like this, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. So this should be like this. Okay. Okay. So it undergoes an translation of 2 units along X, 3 unit along Y and 1 unit along Z. So we have this particular T here, 2 unit along X. So 2, 3 units along Y will be a 3, 1 unit along Z will be a 1, like that, with no rotation, with no rotation. When I say no rotation, R will be equals to my identity matrix. So you can see the transformation matrix is like this. So I already given the transformation matrix as you can see, but in the GATE exam they will not give this matrix. They will just give this particular sentence and you have to form the matrix here. You should know that R is equals to I. You should know what this particular sentence means and you should be able to frame the transformation matrix here. Okay. So you can see we have the transformation matrix, we have the point P and we have to find out the transform point coordinates. Simple one, P dash will be equals to T into P. T we have, point we have, we just need to do a calculation to find out the value of P dash here. Again the homework question for you. Okay. So please do all these particular questions. It's not just like you understand the concept and okay, that's it. No, you should be able to do matrix multiplication also. Okay. By solving the question, you can do this kind of question in less than 1 minute also. Okay. Because if you have done more practice of solving this kind of question of doing the matrix multiplication, you can easily solve this question in less than 1 minute. Okay. So try to do the calculation here for all the 3 questions. Okay, great. So we have this question number 4 now. A robot performs a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation about z-axis followed by a translation of P213 here. The transformation matrix is given to us. If a point is initially located at P here, determine its final coordinate. Okay. So see, again in the GATE exam you are not going to get this transformation matrix or they will not provide this particular sentence. Either they can give the transformation matrix or they can provide this particular sentence here. Okay. But to understand the concept, so initially we have given this particular transformation matrix here. Okay. So that you will get familiar with it. So in the main exam, in the test series, you are not going to get this transformation matrix. Okay. So you should understand that, okay, 90-degree counterclockwise about z-axis. So RZ 90 will be a what? Like this. That will be a cos theta minus sin theta and cos theta here 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 here like this. Okay. So you should be able to frame the transformation matrix here. So this is my R and we have the translation. So we can form the transformation matrix like this. Okay. Again same thing. We have to apply the P dash equals to T into P. T is given, P is given, just the matrix multiplication here. Okay. I hope you understand this particular thing. Like 3 questions, 4 questions are there. You just need to do a calculation. Okay. So they can frame the question in any way. So in all the questions I have given the transformation matrix, but in the GATE exam you need to frame the transformation matrix here. Okay. So try to solve all the 4 questions. Please comment your answer one by one. So question number 1 answer is like this. Question number 2 answer is like this. So please please do comment below. Okay. Okay. Great. So up till now we have discussed the homogeneous transformation of 3 dimension here. Okay. But what about 2D? Homogeneous transformation for a 2D robot. Okay. So same thing here. We have the transformation matrix for 2D, that will be what? RP01. But in the case of 3D, this T is basically a what? 4 by 4 matrix. But in the case of two dimensional, this will be a what? 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, because R will be a what? R will be like this: cos theta minus sin theta and cos theta, right? That's it. So my T will be 3 cross 3 matrix here, having cos theta minus sin theta, cos theta. Here we are going to have the translation here xy, then 0 0 1. That's it. Okay, so this is basically a two-dimensional thing here. I hope you understand this simple one. If you understand the 3D thing, right? And again, same case here. In the case of pure translation, when I say pure translation means what? No rotation, right? So R will be equals to I, and this particular point will be having some coordinate here. Let's say for example x and y here. Okay, that's it. Now second is basically a what? Pure rotation. When I say pure rotation means what? The value of p will be equals to 0. The value of p will be equals to 0 means what? It will have a 0 0 coordinate, right? In the case of 3D, it will be one more dimension here, 0. That's it. Okay, so I hope you understand about this particular scenario in the two-dimensional thing. Same thing, but here we are going to get a 3 cross 3 matrix here. Now we have discussed the chaining transformation here, right? Now let's say for example we have a 3 frame. Okay, so we have a frame A, then we have a frame B, then we have a frame C. Okay, so 3 frame or 3 links you can consider. Okay, so final transformation will be like this: A, T, C, and that will be equivalent to a what? A, T, B, and here B, T, C, like this: A, T, B into B, T, C. We all know this. But what if this thing is given to us here and we need to find out this particular transformation matrix? So final transformation matrix is given to us. One of the intermediate transformation matrix is given to us, like let's say for example BTC, and we have to find out the ATB. Once we find out the ATB here, then we can find out the initial coordinate of this particular B frame also, right? Because by using those coordinate only we have transformed to C. So that thing we can do, but for that we require this particular transformation matrix. So how we are going to get that? So this is known, this is also known, and this is unknown. So that will be equivalent to what? ATB will be equals to what? BTC. So this will go on this side, this will be a inverse into ATC. That's it. Okay, so you need to remember this thing also. It might be possible that they are going to give us the final transformation matrix, they are going to give us the one of intermediate transformation matrix, and one is unknown. So we have to find out that unknown transformation matrix, and based on that they can ask one question here. Okay, they might give the point B or point A, and we have to find out the value of either point A or point B. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, so I hope you understand what I have discussed in this particular video. So that's it from my side, and please try to solve all the 4 questions, all the homework. You have to do the calculation and comment your answer. Okay, thank you.